seems like all kinds of gardeners and homeowners especially, everybody wants to have a nice looking lawn, and there's a lot of different things we can do to keep our lawn looking nice. Fertilize, water properly, mow correctly, a lot of different things that will really help keep the lawn looking good. But sometimes, especially if you're starting over from scratch, or sometimes it's nice to just get rid of an old lawn and introduce some new varieties. There's a thing that we do in the fall that's called overseeding, and anytime from the latter part of July through the first part of October is a great time to either plant new grass to try and rejuvenate an old lawn, or to overseed and introduce some new varieties of grasses into your lawn. So this is a perfect time to get outside and rejuvenate a tired, old looking lawn, or to plant a brand new lawn as well too. So we've got some things here at Anderson Seed and Garden to really help you in your quest to have a great looking lawn. Of course, we have a lot of different varieties of grasses, so here's a list of all of our grasses, and we've got a lot of favorites. My personal favorite is the Anderson Select. It's got 5 hybrid bluegrasses in it. It's a gorgeous lawn. All these varieties are hand-picked by us. We have them blended all together, and this is a grass that greens up really quickly in the spring, stays green all the way through the summer, and will continue to stay green throughout the fall. It's insect resistant, disease resistant, doesn't need quite as much water. It's really, really soft. It's just a nice grass, and this is what it looks like right here. I've got a little sample of the Anderson Select right there. Real fine bluegrass. Usually you use about 4 pounds per 1,000 square feet, so if you know what your square footage is, we can help you figure out how much grass you need to complete the job that you're trying to do. If you're overseeding, you use half as much grass seed. So if you're trying to rejuvenate an old lawn and you want to just add some seed to it, you'd use half as much. So that's what the Kentucky bluegrass looks like. So if you're planting from scratch, if you're planting a brand new lawn, we've got step-by-step instructions on the back side of our grass planting guide, and it tells you how to plant a lawn from seed. Usually you want to rake, you'll want to use a roller to help figure out where your low and your high spots are. You definitely want to fertilize during that process so that your grass has something to feed on as it starts to germinate and come up, and the roller really helps get the grass established and gets it just a little covering on it to kind of get things going. So usually what we'll do is we'll start off and we'll get out there and we'll rake the whole area and figure out where any low or high spots are by taking our lawn roller and rolling over those areas, and the roller will help reveal those low and those high spots, and then we'll rake it again very lightly. So usually in that process we'll throw a little fertilizer on there. So the new lawn starter from Fertilome, excellent starter fertilizer. You can put that on to help feed it for the first 4 to 6 weeks. It's a nice balanced fertilizer for just getting things going. This little 4-pound container, the new lawn starter, will cover about 1,000 square feet. Otherwise, if you're doing a really big area, we'd probably recommend you go with the 16-16. The 16-16-16 comes in 25 or 50-pound bags. Will cover 4 to 8,000 square feet, so you can cover a really big area. But somewhere in that process, make sure you throw that fertilizer on. After we fertilize and get that raked in, we'll just do little chicken scratches all over where we're going to plant the grass seed. Broadcast the seed on. You can use a spreader, usually a handheld spreader for smaller areas. Very easy to do it. Broadcast the seed out. So you put the seed in here. This actually acts like a scoop, so you can scoop it out of your bag, or you can pour it in there, and then you turn the handle and it throws the seed out. So a handheld seeder works really well for smaller areas. If you want a bigger, if you're trying to seed a bigger area, you can do a larger handheld or a shoulder slung spreader like this. This is one of my favorite spreaders, and you can control it by cranking your hand and walking, and you can adjust your walking speed or your hand cranking speed without having to worry about it, like with a push broadcast spreader or a drop spreader. Depending on how fast you walk is how fast the seed comes out. So use a spreader to distribute your seed, and once you get that seed down, usually we'll go over it again with a roller, and just kind of packs the seed down just a little bit, kind of drops into the grooves where you've raked, and then the roller will come over the top of it and just cover it up just a little bit. Works really, really well. The Seed Start is also an excellent product to use after you've just seeded. It's got just a mild fertilizer in there, but a lot of biologicals that will help get your grass seed to germinate quicker. Once it germinates, it'll get it established faster. This is an amazing product by Bicor, who's a local company. It's made right here in Cache Valley, and this will really get your grass to take off and get established much quicker. It's got a hose-in sprayer. You just hook it onto the end of the hose, and you can just take it out there and just spray the whole area down. After you get your grass seed planted, you want to, of course, keep it moist. So Generally in the middle of summer through the first part of, or middle part of September, we want to water for 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, probably 3 or 4 times a day to keep that grass seed moist. And in probably about 10 days to 2 weeks, you'll have new grass popping up like crazy. So whether you're planting a new lawn from scratch, or if you're overseeding, you're going to use the same basic principles. If you're overseeding, we like to mow the lawn down really close, broadcast that seed over the top, and then rake it with a leaf rake. Don't use a metal tined rake, but use a leaf rake, and just rake the whole lawn after you've broadcast the seed on. It'll help the seed settle down through the grass and come in contact with the soil. And then you're going to do the same thing. Continue doing your regular watering. If you're watering twice a week or 3 times a week, continue to do that. But then every day you're going to turn your sprinklers on for just 2 or 3 minutes, twice or 3 times a day, just to keep that grass seed moist, and you'll have new grass popping up in no time. This is a perfect time of year to get outside and plant some new grass, and we've got everything you need here at Anderson Seed and Garden.